Hey folks, welcome to Thinking Theology. I'm Don. I'm doing one of the greatest comedians ever, and Bill Burr talking about religion. And Bill just shoots straight, he's self-effacing and all this stuff, but I've seen this routine he's done. I've seen this bit. I don't remember all that he said, obviously, because it's about 10 minutes long, but if you're overly sensitive or sensitive to potty mouth, this wouldn't be for you because Bill uses it. Doesn't bother me in the least, but let's just get into this thing. Let me put my headphones on, and let's get Bill's thoughts on religion.
Whatever you're into, but I don't know. I'm not into that religious stuff where, and this is why. I actually walked away from my religion. I had to be honest with myself. I didn't like going to church every week, you know. I just didn't. Part of it was I'm lazy. I don't like getting up on Sundays. And the other part was I already heard all the stories, okay? Heard it 3-4 times. The dude hasn't come back yet. You know, we're just sort of mulching over the same shit here. I got it, right? And then the other aspect was, you know, I actually, I had to be honest with myself. I felt my religion made sense and everybody else's sounded stupid.
Oh my God, that is so spot on, though. I mean, everybody, when you grow up in a certain way, you think your neighborhood is the way all the other neighborhoods in the world are. Then you travel and you realize there's richer people than you, poorer people than you, parents divorced, parents together, like it's a hodgepodge out there. And you got to make sense of what you were raised with, whether politically, any ideologies, you just sort of explore. And religion, it's scary to give up what you were raised with if you decide to do it.
I did. Look, I'm not talking about the basis of every religion. The basis of every religion makes sense. You know, the 10 Commandments, right? Don't kill anybody. Don't touch my wife. That's my bike, right? That all makes sense.
Good caveat.
I think I've broken just about every commandment except for the 5th one. That's it.
Not
I
killed.
haven't killed anybody yet, all right? But the murderous thoughts that I have sometimes, I think I could do it.
I think everyone can.
Still early on, right? But just the stories of how we got here and where we're going and what happens after we die. Everybody else's religion sounded stupid, you know? Like I live out in Los Angeles, there's a bunch of Scientologists out there. And the first time I heard the story of Scientology, I was like, that is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life. Like, your guy's name is Ron.
It's like L. Ron Hubbard.
And he wasn't alive thousands of years ago, so you can hide a lot of it in the mystery. This guy was alive like 45, 50 years ago. He had a driver's license. Social security number. There's like footage of him stubbing his toe. Motherfucker, right?
The way he brings these things and brings it right down to planet Earth is brilliant. He had a driver's license, and he's your prophet leader. That's kind of funny.
I don't know what happened. He was working at Denny's. He got sick of it. He's like, oh, I'll start a religion. Hey, everybody, there's a spaceship coming back. Everybody's getting sneakers. This is Tom Cruise. We're going to try to make you clear. Right? Now, look, I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing. To be fair to the Scientologists, I am paraphrasing. But that's essentially what they believe in. And I said that is the dumbest shit I ever heard, while simultaneously still kind of believing that a woman who never got fucked had a baby that walked on water, died, and came back 3 days later. So, yeah, that made total sense to me. So it just hit me one day. I was just like, well, why does that make sense and that shit doesn't, you know? They got a spaceship in theirs, you know? Right? We had the space shuttle.
I can't even imagine in colleges or seminaries what comparative religions look like. Like, I guess you try to find the similarities and you try to find the disparities and where things bifurcated and branched off, like Christianity and Islam. Judaism preceded that with Moses, and so the Abrahamic covenant and all this stuff, and then they each branched off of that. But this, I mean, he's obviously breaking it down in a much more direct, common, everyday way.
You know, there's sneakers. There's a lot of shit I can relate to in this. Why does that sound so dumb to me? I don't know. You know what it is? You know, I think it's because I heard this story when I was an adult. I heard my story when I was like 4 years old, right? When I heard my story, there was still some fat fuck coming down the chimney giving me Christmas toys. If I lost a tooth, there was a fairy. There was an Easter bunny. Why wouldn't there be some bearded baby moonwalking across the lake? Throwing out bottomless buckets of shrimp or whatever he did. Of course that made sense. But what happened was, as I got older, all of that stuff started to fall, right? Like, son, there's no fat fuck. It's your mother and I. Your mom's the tooth fairy. Rabbits don't have eggs. Her tits are fake. The NBA's fixed. Bankers are cunts. Most of your dreams won't come true, right? And I was just like, wow, this is how the world is. And meanwhile, this shit was just floating, this 800-pound gorilla of this fucking story. And I just had to make a decision. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with this? Am I gonna cling to it, be that person, you know? That's very offensive to me and other Christians and
I get it.
Become that douche, right? I mean, be like the casual Christian, right? With like, you know, some 1 foot on base and just, yeah, I kind of go a couple times a year and like my parents come to town. I act like I go all the time and I don't go anymore. Or my last option, which was basically just let go of the shit, you know? Just let go.
Well, some people like that.
Just let go of it, like that creepy moment in curling, you know? You know that moment where the shooter, whatever you call him, is just sliding with that rock, right? Just, let me do this right, just slide.
That's exactly what they look like.
You think he's along for the ride, the two of them, they're a team, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just goes fucking. That rock just keeps going, and this dude just stops. That's what I did with my religion. I just let go of it. I didn't read a riot act to anybody. I just let go of it. And on the third day, he rose again in fulfillment of I just floated away.
You know what I like about this presentation of Bill's too? It's just that he's talking about his own experience with it. People can get offended at what somebody else does with their faith or how they don't like it, but it shouldn't surprise us in any way that somebody does or doesn't have faith. That's the world in which we live. I know for me, it doesn't matter to me whether somebody believes or doesn't believe. It doesn't. As long as somebody's reasonably kind or just willing to leave others alone, I'm totally cool with that. It's when people, I guess, think that they've got to defend God. And I came to this realization years ago that the mayor of my own town doesn't need me to defend her. Then broaden it. The governor of the state, I'm irrelevant. The president of the United States, irrelevant. And somehow we've got this idea, and I think it is fairly arrogant, that we have to defend the supposed creator of the heavens and the earth. And I do believe there is a creator. That actually makes sense to me, just from a logical standpoint, that things have a beginning. That's how we humans understand things, that if I go into a library, I see a book and it had a beginning. Somebody came up with an idea, they wrote a bunch of words down, edited it, other people got involved, artists, whatever. Look at a bicycle. Things have a creator, they have a beginning. And to me, it does make sense that things weren't just ex nihilo, that the universe came from somewhere, and that was a being of some sort that we commonly refer to as God. So I don't believe in God because the scriptures, any particular scriptures or texts anywhere, say that this is the way it worked. Just to me, as a function of logic, which that logic may be wrong. There may be a lot of input variables that I'm missing, and I'm sure that there are. It wouldn't necessarily subvert my belief that there was a creator, but I get where Bill is saying here. It doesn't offend me the way he's presenting this at all. It just doesn't. Some people get offended that I don't get offended. It's like, I don't. That's how I'm made. I don't really get offended that easily. I just don't like jackasses, I guess. Like, people who believe or don't believe aren't jackasses by virtue of agreement with me or disagreement with me. People in life are generally jackasses if they think they're so rock solid that they're going to try pointing out to me that I'm wrong because I disagree with them, or that they're just nasty on any basis in life. I don't like mean-spiritedness on any level. All right, let's see where Bill goes with this.
So now it's like I'm in this weird place where I'm not in any religion right now. Unrestricted free agent. You know?
He's a big sports fan, Bill.
I'd like to believe in something, so I've been going around asking people what their shit is, and I haven't been able to find anything. I'm trying to be open-minded. I was doing a gig in Helsinki, and over there, they're like Lutheran. And what they believe when you die, you're dead. And that's it. Dead. Like a pigeon, just laying there. Over. Blew my mind. I'm like, really? You're just dead like this? You don't... Like my religion was, you die and then you go up to get judged, right? God pops in the DVD, your life is like, oh, I don't know about this right here. Mind explaining yourself?
I know.
This might be the most arrogant thing I say all night, but I actually resent the fact that I'm gonna get judged someday. Like, if that's true, that somebody's gonna judge me, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, dude, you made me, so this is your fuck up. All right, let's not try to turn this
That's
around
pretty
on
common
me.
argument.
You know? Jesus Christ. You give me freedom of choice, you make whores, you have me suck at math, and you don't think this thing's gonna go off the rails? Like, you set me up to fail, and now you got the balls to now question your own goddamn work. Dude, if I made a car, if I built a car and it didn't run, I wouldn't, like, burn it forever. You evil piece of shit, light it on fire. I wouldn't. I would troubleshoot. Is there gas in the engine? Is the battery charged? Anything beyond this, I gotta get a real man to look at it. But I believe in you. Let's try and help you out.
I mean, a lot of those perspectives are fairly common to folks. And I mean, I've had discussions over the years back when I was much more into Christianity. I mean, I was raised Christian, then became atheistic because I saw so many horrible things in the world. I saw so many religions. And then I got into Bible study. And then some of it started to make sense on a certain level. And then I got pretty hardcore into that. And then I started to question a lot of the things in different ways, but some of the things that he had said. And I just got honest too with myself and looking at some of the texts that no longer made sense. When I rewrote the New Testament in my own words, it was a paraphrastic version, and it took me a year and a half to do that. And I actually was trying to prove a given thing, and it wound up unwinding many of the assumptions that I'd had. and previously held, and that caused me to reevaluate many things. And so there are many gaps. And so he just sort of elucidated some of the process through which he went. But the questions are legitimate. I mean, these are common questions, like if God is in control and there's suffering in the world and God is love, how do you account for those? And many folks just say, look, it's beyond my pay grade. I can't make sense of it. I believe in God. Some of it might not make sense. And that is a very fair assessment to me, because nobody knows it all. We can't. And one of the things about faith, about God or heaven or judgment day, is that you've got to die to find out if you were right. If the texts were right, if things were put into the text that weren't right. And we know there were forgeries in the texts, various texts. And textual analysis provides some clarification and creates other problems. But anyway, this is, I mean, the way Bill presents it is the way a lot of people perceive it for themselves, and may even have their own questions. So I couldn't care less if somebody believes in God or not. I believe what I believe, and that's subject to change. And but just wanted to present these thoughts in thinking theology. That's what this is about. This isn't agreeing with any theological perspective of the channel. It's thinking theology. What makes sense? What doesn't? Where's legitimacy? Where might we find some answers? Where might we find more questions? Bill definitely brought up some questions, so there it is. All right, folks, leave your comments. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on another video. Have a great day and keep thinking theology.